The galactic bazaar of Theta 7 hummed with the chaotic energy of 1,000 worlds compressed into one sprawling marketplace. Beneath the translucent dome that shielded the station from the void, merchants from across the galaxy hawked their wares in a cacophony of languages, clicks, and electromagnetic pulses. The air itself seemed alive, thick with the scent of exotic spices, ozone from energy weapons, and the metallic tang of recycled atmosphere. Elsa Martinez moved through the crowd with practiced ease, her brown eyes scanning the vendor stalls with the keen attention of someone who knew exactly what she was looking for. Her dark hair was pulled back in a practical braid, and she wore the standard-issue jacket of a human cargo hauler, reinforced at the shoulders, pockets everywhere, and bearing the faded insignia of the Terran merchant fleet. At her side walked Leo Chen, her business partner and closest friend, his datapad clutched in one hand as he navigated their shopping list. "We need 3 more quantum capacitors," Leo muttered, adjusting his glasses as he squinted at the holographic display. "And Elsa, please tell me you're not going to haggle for another hour like you did at the last station." Elsa grinned without looking back. "That haggling saved us enough credits to upgrade our nav system." "You're welcome." They didn't notice the Krevnash, but the Krevnash noticed them. It moved through the shadows at the market's edge, a creature of nightmare given flesh and purpose. Standing nearly 8 feet tall, the Krevnash was all corded muscle and chitinous armor, its forearms ending in talons designed by evolution, or perhaps something darker, to rend and tear. Its species had been banned from most civilized systems after the Harvest Wars, but bans meant little in the lawless frontier stations. The creature's compound eyes processed the crowd with predatory calculation. It cataloged each species by threat level and nutritional value. A Quellan merchant, too many witnesses. A pair of Dravix traders, armor too thick. A family of Prill, small and weak but surrounded by security drones. Then it saw the perfect targets. 2 humans, young, unarmored, seemingly distracted. The Krevnash's mandibles clicked with anticipation. Humans were rare this far out, which made them exotic prey. More importantly, humans were known throughout the galaxy as soft. No natural weapons, no scales, no venom. Just fragile pink flesh over brittle bone. The galaxy's great mystery wasn't how humans had reached the stars, but why natural selection had allowed such vulnerable creatures to survive long enough to develop spaceflight. It began to move, slipping between stalls with the silent grace of an apex. Predator Elsa had just finished, inspecting a set of phase coils when she felt that primal sensation that had kept her ancestors alive on the African savanna, the one that transcended species and star systems. The feeling of being watched, of being hunted. She turned slowly, her hand drifting toward the plasma cutter hanging from her belt. Not a weapon officially, but in a pinch. Her eyes locked with the Krevnash. For a moment, the marketplace seemed to fall away. There was only predator and prey, the oldest dynamic in the universe, playing out under artificial lights and alien stars. The Krevnash took a step forward, its talons clicking against the metal deck. Elsa didn't run. She didn't scream. She didn't even flinch. Instead, she smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. It was the smile of someone who had grown up on a planet where nearly everything was designed to kill you, where spiders carried neurotoxins, where microscopic parasites could eat you from the inside, where the weather itself could turn lethal in minutes. It was the smile of a species that had clawed its way to the top of the food chain, not through claws or venom, but through sheer bloody-minded stubbornness. "Leo," she said quietly, never breaking eye contact with the Krevnash. "We've got company." Leo looked up from his datapad, assessed the situation in an instant and sighed. "Seriously? We just got here." The Krevnash hesitated. Something was wrong. Prey didn't behave this way. Prey ran or froze or tried to appear larger. These humans were doing none of those things. They were simply standing there, watching, waiting. "Krevnash," Elsa said, her voice carrying clearly in the sudden pocket of silence that had formed around them. Other merchants and shoppers had noticed the standoff and were backing away. "I recognize the species. You're a long way from the outer darkness." The creature's translator implant crackled to life. "Human, you will come. Quietly." "No," Elsa said simply. The Krevnash's confusion deepened. This wasn't how hunting worked. It was stronger, faster, armed with natural weapons that had evolved over millions of years. The human had nothing but some tools on her belt and that unsettling smile. "You do not understand," the Krevnash hissed. "I am Predator." "You are prey," Leo laughed, actually laughed. "Oh, buddy," he said, shaking his head. "You really don't know much about humans, do you?" "Educated," Elsa suggested, her smile widening. Leo was happy to oblige. "See, here's the thing about humans. We're not the fastest. Quellen runners can do 70 kilometers per hour. We're not the strongest. A Dravix can lift 3 times what we can. We don't have armor or claws or venom or any of the fun biological weapons." The Krevnash's mandibles twitched with irritation. "Then you are weak." "No," Leo corrected, his voice suddenly cold. "We're persistent. You know what humans used to do back on Earth? We'd pick an animal, say a deer, and we'd just follow it for hours, for days if necessary. We can't outrun a deer in a sprint, but we can run longer. We'd chase it until it collapsed from exhaustion, and then we'd kill it. We call it persistence hunting," Elsa added. "We're endurance predators. We don't give up, ever. You know what else humans do? We hold grudges. You attack one of us, and we won't just fight back. We'll hunt you. We'll find where you sleep. We'll wait as long as it takes, months, years, generations." The Krevnash took an involuntary step backward. Around them, other aliens were nodding. A Quellen merchant called out, "It's true. Humans are crazy. I once saw one chase a smuggler for 3 systems over a stolen datapad." "Humans once dropped atomic weapons on their own planet," a Dravix security guard added helpfully. "On themselves, twice." "We've got a saying," Leo said, pulling out his personal shield generator and casually activating it. A shimmer of blue energy enveloped him. "It's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog." Elsa's hand closed around the grip of her plasma cutter, and she drew it with the fluid motion of someone who had practiced the movement 10,000 times. The tool hummed to life, its cutting beam designed to slice through starship hull plating. "So here's how this goes, friend. You can walk away right now and we'll forget this happened. Or you can try your luck and find out why humans are classified as a Class 7 Death World species." The Krevnash's compound eyes flickered between the 2 humans, reassessing. Its species' ancient hunting instincts, honed over countless generations, were screaming a warning it had never heard before. These weren't prey. These were something far more dangerous. Prey that had become predators. Prey that had conquered their own world of nightmares and then reached for the stars with bloodied hands and unbreakable will. The Krevnash backed away slowly, its forearms raised in a gesture of submission. Another time, perhaps, it rasped, its translator barely functioning through its confusion. "I don't think so," Elsa said pleasantly. "Because if I see you hunting sapients on this station again, I'll do what humans do best. I'll adapt, I'll learn, and I'll win." The Krevnash turned and disappeared into the crowd with surprising speed. The marketplace gradually returned to its normal chaos, though Elsa noticed several aliens giving them a much wider berth than before. She holstered her plasma cutter and turned to Leo with a raised eyebrow. "Class 7 Death World species? We're Class 9, Leo shrugged. "I was being modest." As they returned to their shopping, a young Quellen approached hesitantly. "Excuse me, humans. Is it true what they say about your planet? That everything there tries to kill you?" Elsa considered the question seriously. "Not everything. Maybe 90%, and you survived?" "More than survived," Leo said with a grin. "We thrived. Then we got bored and decided to see what the rest of the galaxy had to offer." The Quellen's fur rippled with what might have been respect or horror. "You are very strange." "Thank you," Elsa and Leo said in unison. As they walked away, Elsa couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. Humanity might not have claws or armor or venom, but they had something better: the absolute refusal to be anyone's prey. In a galaxy full of natural-born predators, humans had proven that the most dangerous weapon was the one between your ears, and the unshakable conviction that giving up was never an option. The Krevnash had learned that lesson. Today, and somewhere in the vast marketplace, the story would spread, as stories always did, of the day a predator scanned the crowd for prey and backed away when it saw the human. Because humans, fragile and soft as they might appear, were predators too. They'd just taken a different, longer, and far more terrifying path to the top.